So ladies, I have a little survey here. Fit Rated recently conducted a survey of 1,000 people. The survey found that approximately 99% of people could remember the first time they experienced an insecurity and where they were when it happened. The average age at the respondents also called that first developing an insecurity was age 16. The findings show that men were 35% more likely than women to have been insecure at any point in time. Do you agree with the survey?
I think so.
Okay, so Michi, this brings me for the first question. Growing up, did you ever experience any moment or any phase where you probably went through a bad insecurity moment?
I think I was always insecure. You know, I took to rebellion to kind of shadow the insecurity. Insecure a lot about the way I speak. I have a lisp. Oh, now I'm proud of it. I got fans for the lisp.
I think it's a little sexy.
You see?
Yeah.
I never knew. At first it was, your tongue is big. You talk on your tongue and I can't hear your F's. Well, now I pronounce them very well.
Okay.
So yeah, I've always been insecure a lot around my body. Especially, you know, I grew up in a typical Ghanaian mother's home. So at every least provocation, and I want to perform. You understand? Right. So those things sort of made me feel a little insecure about myself. They did take a big part of me. You know, it's taken me years to come to who you see sitting here now. You know, more confident in even all my flaws, you know, so
would you say that, you know, with the survey saying that usually you discover your insecurities from age 16?
Yeah.
I would say maybe like the teenage stages.
Teenage, yeah.
You mentioned something, and I think you're actually right. Mine was with my cousins. You know, my mom was very intentional about the word she used on us. She hated it when people would laugh at us about certain things. But my cousins, I grew up amongst boys, you know. So I would say a lot of my insecurities, I'm asking this question for all of you guys. Would you say that a lot of our insecurities are often triggered by family members or by society or community or by what we see or watch on the internet?
From the start, I could say we didn't have too much internet growing up. So definitely from the people around us, family, friends, schoolmates, classmates. Yeah, definitely. The big factor starts from their upbringing.
Okay, we'll come back to you. Ganya B.
Maame. I think when it comes to insecurities, from the typical Ghanaian perspective, there's a lot of comparison. Where there's like, look at your cousin, look at your nephew, look at your niece, look at like, you know, your other mates, what they are doing. You understand? So I think that when it comes to insecurities, it's more of we doubting ourselves, we focusing more on our flaws, and we comparing ourselves to other people. It's normal for you to be insecure about certain things. And today, because of the topic, I deliberately wore a dress that shows my arm. You realize that since the whole show started, I have never worn any outfit that shows my arm, because, Maame, one of my insecurities are my arms.
Same.
And till 2 years ago, I never wore any outfit that showed my arms, because I felt my arms were too big. I felt they were, but now I realize people compliment me for my skin. So if I don't show my arms, how would you? Yeah. So sometimes, as much as we focus on our insecurities, we should also focus on the things that we have. Maybe you have, you know, beautiful legs, but you have scars on your legs. Focus on how you can clear the scars, because that is what you have. So it's okay to be insecure about something, but you also have to work. You have to work with it to your advantage, else people will always use it against you.
I feel like you answered both questions.
I'm telling you,
I love it.
I would never wear any outfit that would show my arms, because I felt like my arms are big. I know you was like, I have
to take a good
look. But you see, just like you're talking about your tongue, you know, just like you're talking about it, like I felt like it was sexy.
Yeah.
I have absolutely loved the way she talks. I don't know, but I'm like, why does she talk like that? Like, it's sexy. So you see, sometimes the things that we are insecure about, that is the things that makes us unique. You understand? Another thing I was insecure about was my skin color. Like, I didn't like the idea that I was dark. I felt like if I was fair, I was going to be extremely beautiful. But now I realized that my unique selling proposition is my skin.
That's right.
Like, if I enter in a room, I was like, oh, that dark-skinned beautiful lady. You understand? So sometimes we have to know our insecurities, because if you don't know about it, you can't work on it. So when you know about it, then you find a way to resolve it to your advantage. It's normal to have it's normal to be insecure about something.
Okay.
Sometimes we are insecure, especially with ladies, like we have side roles, we have, yeah, it's normal, baby girl.
I have something to say about what you just said, but I'll take Atre, and then I'll come back to you. So Atre, have you ever had a moment where you felt you battled with severe insecurities, and how did you overcome it?
Mommy, growing up, I think my parents made me believe I was beautiful because I had 3 elder brothers and I was the girl. So my brothers used to worship me, so I thought I was the most beautiful girl, like everywhere. Until I went to school, I think when I was in class 6, primary 6, then they started calling me, excuse me, Enya Pochi, like big eyes. Like they were, babe. Everywhere they're just laughing at me. Like I have big eyes, big eyes.
No.
So at a point I didn't want to go to school because I didn't want to go to school and they were just start calling me that. I wasn't used to that. So I think growing up I had to accept that yes, my mom used to tell me that yes, they are beautiful, they are big, but they are beautiful, don't worry, blah blah blah. But I started modeling and then everybody's like, whoa, I love your eyes. Exactly. I love your eyes. And I'm like, okay. So to some people, it might be something not beautiful, but to other people, they accept and make you feel perfect. So why do I settle with the negative side when I can settle on the positive one to make me feel okay and even make money from it? So yeah, and that's why I dealt with it.
Well, for me, my insecurities were a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I was that child when I was young. Like I said, my mom was very particular with us, so I'll have the cutest. And at a point, I felt like, am I just ungrateful?
Oh.
Because like my mom did everything possible to make me feel like a princess, but I would go outside and I'll compare myself, like my features, to other people. Like I remember the gap in the tooth. The asthma. Yeah. I loved it. I love my best friend had that. And that was the most beautiful, and I wanted that. Yet I'll go out there and people are like, your teeth are so straight, your teeth is nice.
I made a post about you, talking about your teeth.
I saw it, but I didn't like it.
Like, nothing about you is your teeth. The first day I saw you.
So wait, I hope you did try to chisel it.
I tried to. I tried. At one point, I intentionally, in front of Morningstar, I tried to skip with my school bag just so I can hit my teeth. Listen, I'm telling you, I was so silly. Aside that, you mentioned something about sometimes you need to know your insecurities and work on it. There are certain insecurities that there's nothing you can do about it. When I was young, I hated going swimming because I'll have to wear bikini, and I had a hernia, so I have like an outie. Kids, when it's out, they're like, what is that? Is that a balloon? That kind of thing. I had many allergies, meaning I would eat things and I would react to it, so I had scars on my legs, and those kind of scars, you can't treat them. Nothing under the sun. See, my mom has tried every single oil product, everything to take the scars away. It doesn't work. Do you get it? So these are insecurities where you have no choice. You just have to make it work. So I'm sure my designer's probably watching it and she's like, girl, if you're making clothes for me, it's the most hardest task ever. Have I gotten over it? I wouldn't say I have. Totally at all. I still cover my arms a lot. Like today I went to pick up clothes and my designer was like, Maame, try something. It's so ironic that you actually also turned up in the same thing. I hate showing my arms and then my legs as well. You find me wearing trousers Monday to Friday, literally. So, it's an insecurity where you don't have a choice, but you have to live with it. Do you like it? No. Do you get it? But when you grow to a certain age, you're like, what can do. You can't really do much about it. You just have to just keep it moving. But another question, do you guys think that, like me, a lot of people in the past they find themselves feeling very insecure because they want to belong in a certain or a particular circle so bad? Michi?
Yeah. I don't think I've found myself in that circle. I've come to love my uniqueness, I'm in a group of friends, I'm the quiet one, I'm the odd one. But, leave me on my own and I'm all that, So I don't try to fit in because I can't anyway. I can try, but it still wouldn't be giving what's supposed to give. I don't think I've ever been in that situation, I was always with a boy, so.
The tomboy.
The tomboy.
Okay.
Proper tomboy.
Achanwa.
You know, I think that's where self-love will come in.
Yeah.
Personally, I believe that self-love is a journey. It's a journey where you accept who you are, you accept what you have, and you accept the circumstances that surrounds it. The reason why I say self-love is a journey is because it doesn't start like a day. You have to move from one point to the other. And the basic of self-love is accepting yourself and accepting who you are. So Maame was talking about the fact that she has scars on her legs. There's nothing you can do about it. You have to accept it. And you know, sometimes when you accept things and you love it, people tend to love it as well. When you try to cover it up and you try to hide it, people would want to know why you are hiding what you're hiding. Maybe in your mind, you feel that the scars are much, but maybe just looking at it, you realize it's just something tiny, but in your mind, it looks so big. You understand? So I'm really enjoying today's episode because I know that there's a lot of people out there battling with insecurities. They are battling with self-love issue. Maame, the best thing that ever happened to me as a human being is loving myself. I was in a situation where I felt that I was not beautiful. I felt that I was not worthy. I felt that there was nothing good that could come out of me just because someone said so. You understand? When you love yourself, you don't listen to what other people say about you. There are times where people will criticize you, you have to listen. But if it's not worth it, like it is not worth it, you don't have to pay attention to it because people would always talk. Just like she was saying about her eyes. Trust me, there are people who know that these eyes are beautiful, but because they do not have that eye, they will try to ridicule her just to also bring her down. There are people that are down and they don't have anything to lose. They always want you to come down with them. And one of the aspects of self-love is also surrounding yourself with people who love and appreciate you. Because if you do not find yourself in that circumstance, they will drag you down. See, there are people who they have issues, they have spiritual issues, they have physical issues, they have sex, and it is none of your business. So when you associate yourself with those people, trust me, all the time you will find fault with yourself. Meanwhile, there's nothing wrong with you.
Not you taking us all the way to church, but thank you.
Hallelujah, somebody! Hallelujah, somebody! You know, but it's personal.
Yeah,
like it's personal to me because I had to do this all over. And as the show goes on, we're gonna share how we had to overcome all these things, so the young ladies out there would also learn.
Absolutely.
And if you love yourself, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's definitely a personal battle as well, and I feel like it's a battle that perhaps never ends. You know, there's no age limit to the age where you could actually say, oh, I've been able to combat the situation. But there's also a high rise in procedures and all sorts of injections and fillers and the BBLs and all of that. Does that mean that those people, they lack self-love or they have severe insecurities? I mean, you can be insecure and still love yourself.
Yeah.
But would you say that in this situation, they lack both self-love and they're very insecure as well?
Mommy, you see, having a problem and having the financial capacity to solve the problem is one thing. And having a problem and not having the financial support to back it up is another thing. If you have a dental issue, so I would use myself as an example. I had dental issues. So I realized that I took out 4 of my teeth. And because of that, when I was talking, I couldn't laugh. If you know me, I like to laugh and laugh ugly. My mom would tell me that, lady, I would like more. You understand? So I realized that it was affecting me. I had to fix it up. So if you do, I've done 3 crownings here, 2, and I've done a root canal there. I could afford it. And I also read about it, and I realized that it wouldn't affect me so much. Another thing I realized about cosmetic surgery is when you do it, you always have to maintain it. So at least after every 4 months, you have to maintain it. Do you have the financial capacity? Have you researched enough? Are you physically and psychologically ready for it? Are you doing it because other people are doing it? If you're doing it because of other people, then I don't think that you would do it. But I think, Mitch, you can say much about the the cosmetic surgery part of,
I don't think all of it is a case of not having self-love, because sometimes you listen, it's more insecurity than not having love for your own self. It's like, I feel like every woman has something about her that she would love to change it. Like you said, if you can afford it, why not? And now becomes an issue of not loving yourself when you're doing it to please other people for the public, for the media. You know, if it's for your job, it's okay. Your body is your company. Yeah. So cool. But then if it's for someone, or because someone says, hey, your butt is too flat, your tits are not nice, and if that was your reason for editing yourself, then you might as well say that there's no love for yourself in that situation. But I think most girls do surgery or go under the knife for their own satisfaction. More so because they love themselves and they want to be perfect. Yeah. You know, I'm not condoning anything.
So I guess what the two of you are saying is, if you're doing it for yourself, it's self-love.
Yeah.
But if you're doing it to please your man or your... Because I hear a lot of guys actually feel as though women do their bodies or do... For them.
No, there are people who do it for themselves.
Yeah.
There are people...
I can agree to some people doing it for their men, especially if, let's say, you're this size and you're with a
Which one is this size?
Size 10, 12.
Oh, okay.
And then you're with a man who wants 40 with a round bumper. You definitely feel...
How can you keep up with this? Does it mean that if he wants it bigger, you get it bigger?
No, you'll never be happy in that relationship.
Yeah.
One, you're enhancing yourself, not for your satisfaction, for someone whose preferences might just change over the years.
Yeah.
You understand? Exactly. It will go from booty to skinny. Yeah. And then what happens? Are you losing all that?
Maame, so let me tell you the story. I had a friend who was very dark, precious. Hey, my boy, do you know my wife? Pressure was so pretty. You know this kind of dark skin that is like DB, the skin like milk.
Yeah.
So Precious came to me one day. It was like, oh, she's realized that the boyfriend is cheating with fair skin, like girls who are light skin. So my friend started bleaching. She's always wearing long sleeves and trousers. You know, the guy finally broke up with her because she said that she's smelling. That was when I realized that sometimes when people bleach, it gives them some type of smell. Yeah. Oh. When you bleach, there's a type of smell.
I think the products they use.
It's dependent on the products, yeah.
Maybe, but the guy broke up. So if you are trying to enhance yourself or modify yourself for someone, people change, Maame. I used to love mangoes, but all of a sudden I don't love mangoes anymore. So if you try to set up a mango factory for me taste so would you set up another pineapple factory for me now? You understand? Yeah. That is where self-love is extremely essential. When you love yourself, it's like I this is me. This is who I am. When you come into my circle, you are coming into my circle because of what you've seen in me. So I do not have to necessarily change who I am for you. But I, as a person, I am attracting you because of who I am. So if you don't find my characteristics attractive, you would go. You understand? And if you, Maame, if you love yourself, it's a beautiful journey. Like, you're confident, you are sure of who you are. You understand? Yeah. So I think that's what I can say with regards to that.
Thank you very much for that. Achre, you know, looking at your figure, you're a model as well.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm sure in this society, I don't really know what Ghanaian men want, because one minute they're looking for the figure 8. Next minute, they're looking for like a Naomi Campbell body stature. You know, I'm going to start off asking you this question and then I'll move on to the ladies. Have you ever dated any man, or have you ever been in a relationship that has sparked up a great insecurity in you?
Okay, so I think you know the person. At a point, it was like, I should go work on my body. Okay, if I do to please you or for myself. So I didn't. Because that's not what I stand for. I like to be as natural as possible. I wouldn't say it's not healthy.
It's the way you flick the hair for me. You just said, I like to be as natural as possible. Period.
I do. Yeah. I think it's all about our childhood traumas. If your parents make you feel like you are beautiful, you always know you are beautiful. If the society make you know that you're not accepted, you don't fit, then you always have it in your mind that as I'm going, I have to work on myself to feel better again for who I want to be. But my partner, no, right now you just come to meet me, accept me for who I am, to stay with me. If it doesn't work for you, I'm sorry. Someone else love who I am and they'll literally do anything for me to be happy. So I'm sorry.
Love that. Michi, have you dated any guy who has triggered any form of insecurity in you?
Plenty.
I
won't mention it.
Oh, mention. Oh, you can't remember the name?
Somebody's ex?
No. But do we know the person?
Yes,
we know the person.
Yeah, lots and lots of insecurities, and like I said, people change.
Yeah.
So it might be this today, and the next day, the benefits from your side is over because you are not fitting that new picture, that image that they placed in their brain, and it's not your fault. It becomes your fault if you allow it weigh you down too much that you start to judge your own self when you stand in the mirror. That's the time you should know that it's over, because you can't just change your preference and then come back again when that preference has changed. It's like a, how do you call it?
Cycle.
A cycle that never ends. There's no solution. How many times are you going to modify yourself?
Exactly.
Guys, before I move to a shower, mine, the guy did me dirty.
Really?
The guy told me that, well, he didn't tell me. So we started dating and he was very much into me. I was loving the moment, enjoying everything. And then as time went along, you know, I'll find him sending me videos of like girls with big bums and stuff like that. And it started off as a banter. And you know, I enjoyed, like it was a cute
fun.
one. Yeah, we'll laugh about it. Then I'll send it to him and stuff like that. And then, you know, those ones where you're with your man, you're walking with him, and then he sees girls with like big bums and stares at them. Wow. So much that I started changing my mind. Like I wanted BBL so bad. And this is somebody that I've never been into those things. Like my sister has a clinic where she does fillers and stuff like that, a whole clinic in the UK. I don't stand for that, but I don't judge her. That's what she wanted to do. That's what brings food to your table. That's you. Suddenly I was in such a rush to get myself either an injection or do something. And guess what? Eventually we didn't work out. The lady he married,
is it this?
I am Megan Thee Stallion compared to this girl.
No way.
I'm telling you.
No way.
Babe. The buttons, this table. I'm telling you. I'm sure they're both watching me. When I'm in the Mokasano. The buttons is flat. Even in the wedding dress, there was no beauty.
Oh my God.
So what changed?
So at this point, I was like, wait, hold on. So were you like, I think you may mention that a man, if a man wants to be with you, he would want to be with you, irrespective or despite what you look like. So imagine if I had gone out of my way to have changed my body. God forbid if I died. He would have still gone ahead to marry this table. Yeah. You know.
Maame, really?
Moving on, Ashawa, please.
Okay, wait.
Maame, really?
Oh yeah, really. As a nationalist, still I'm human,
You know, with regards to what you just said, in life there are two types of people. There's a group of people who, when they want something, they would not settle till they get that thing. For instance, she wants to drive a Range Rover. If you give any other vehicle, she will not drive. Let me use a he. If you give him any other vehicle, he will not drive. And there's another group of men. When he has a Honda, a Toyota, they will drive it till they get the type of car they want. Sometimes as women, we find ourselves in situations that we are not the prize there. The person is just holding forth till they get what they want. And in your circumstance, that's what happened. But if you love yourself, you realize that this person is not worth it and I'm going to let go. I think before the show even started, we spoke about the fact that sometimes one of the major reasons why it's difficult for us to let go is that we've invested so much. We've invested financially, physically, emotionally into that thing, you understand? So I feel that if you love yourself, you can get to a point where you say, I don't deserve this, I'm walking out. And standing on business is part of self-love, where you say that, okay, these are my stand. For instance, if you're a Muslim, per your religion, you're not supposed to eat pork. So you like this guy who eats pork. Are you going to say because you love him, you're going to neglect your religion and eat pork, and after that you're going to face the consequences? You need to stand on business. I'm Muslim. It's haram for me to eat pork. You understand? I am a lady. I don't believe in this. So if this is not what you want, I'm sorry. Tell the person our aims, we don't align. Like, we are not on the same page. So let's work out. Let's normalize, having conversations with people and saying that you're beautiful, you're handsome, you're nice, I like you, but I don't like the way you make me feel, so therefore I am going. We can say hello, hi, but I'm gone. Because sometimes you need to focus on you. If you are not whole, you are not happy, people know when you meet a happy person. you know, there are friends that are very happy and content in life. When you see them, you know. And there are people that are frustrated. When we know. We know when we know. When we know.
We know when we know. When we know. But ladies, there's a survey that says that women were 16, well, previously to the survey that we gave, according to that survey, 16.8% are more likely to have first developed insecurities about their body. Take, for instance, if I have a smaller breast and I'm insecure about it, what's the ideal thing to do?
If you have a smaller breast.
Smaller breast. Or if I have a big breast, and maybe I'm not happy about it, or maybe I'm happy about it, or maybe it's just not helping my personality much, what would be the way to go? I'll start with Michi and I'll move to...
Can't complain about big boobs. Like
small breast.
I need big boobs.
Small breast.
If you have a small one, fix it if you can. If it's not too bad. I mean, a lot of these insecurities are self-imposed. It's in your head. I think we've all made that clear right now. So, like my sis here, eyes were something to tease in your young years. Now that's your asset.
Yeah.
You understand? So at the end of the day, something must come out of those flaws. They were supposed to be there. So if you can't, you know, get a boob job or something, that's risky as well. Like, you could die. Yeah, you're literally cutting your body, you know. Anything can happen. Is it worth it in the long run? Especially if you're not doing it for yourself. And it's because everybody said, oh, your boobs are small. Small boobs matter.
You know, now let's talk about our overcoming stories. At which point did you realize that, wow, I've been able to overcome this insecurity of mine? Or at which point did you discover that there's been progress? At least, even if there's no change, there's been a renewal of mind one way or the other. Achawa.
Okay. So for me, one of my greatest fear was I was so afraid of being alone. I didn't know why. It was like most of the times I was forcing friendship when I knew that this was not going to lead anywhere. So it got to a time I realized that I was just happy being home alone by myself. So I decided to find activities that I love, like cooking, try to take all my dresses out of my closet to arrange them again, change the position of my bed in my room, find activities in my room that makes me happy. And the next thing was like wearing dresses that shows my arms. Mommy, I'm going to tell you that if 2 years ago I was supposed to choose between wearing this and choosing or maybe walking naked, I would have gone naked, because I felt like maybe someone wasn't looking at me, but
was it that deep?
I'm telling you,
wow.
Because someone would say like, oh, your arms are big, nobody likes girls with big arms, go work on it and all that, and it just sat in my mind. So anytime I wear an outfit, I'm like, someone is looking at me. Till one day, a friend of mine, Zulfa, she bought me a black dress, and the day I wore that dress, I realized about 10 people complimented me. And I'm like, okay, let me wear it again. And since that day, I'm like, oh, wow. When I wear such outfit, people get to appreciate me more. Because I rarely would you see me in short outfit. So people get to appreciate my beautiful dark skin this way. So these are some of the things that when I started, you know, being alone, I started enjoying my own company, I started wearing such outfit, I realized that, okay, I was making progress. And you have to celebrate your little successes. You know, the success will not come huge, like it will not be like a flip. But okay, today I was able to do this. That's nice.
That's great.
You document it. Maybe you take a picture and you look at yourself. And yeah, it's small. Yeah.
Actually, you started off, I mean, you made a statement that you were being teased in high school.
Primary school.
Primary school.
Wow.
So you started off being bullied or teased from primary school, but you've gotten to a stage now in life where not only do you own a whole pageant, but you also was actually part of Miss Universe.
Me?
No.
Listen, with you.
Oh yeah. She took part with 2016.
17. Yeah.
17.
Yeah.
I mean, you've come a long way.
Yeah.
You've come a long way. Would you say that taking part in these pageants also helped you improve on your insecurities as well?
I think it makes it worse. I won't lie to you. Do you know, during the pageant days, I'm not as tall as they wanted. The cut-off point was, I think, 5.7 or so, and I was 5.4. Babe, I was out of the league. So at that moment, I felt I wasn't good enough. Even for the grand finale, I was like, nah, I can't win because that's not the required height they needed. So it gets worse sometimes, but I had to remember that I'm good, I'm beautiful, I'm accepted. I have to keep in mind saying all these affirmations to make my mental health better, because babe, it gets worse sometimes. Even my pageant, some of the girls keep saying that they know some people are more beautiful than them. It affects their mental health sometimes. So I bring a psychiatrist to talk to them to make sure they are okay. It's not always the same story.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Because I always actually assumed that you were very, very confident.
Babe, that's what you saw?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I was crying every night.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I get people like Ruth and some other people telling me that, okay, you're okay, don't worry. And I was okay. I made it through to top 5.
Congratulations. Michi.
Yes, darling.
You're one person that you've been in the public eye for good, bad, negative, everything. Like, you've been through it. Would you say that you've gotten to the point where negative words or negative responses or comments no longer gets to you?
I'm at that point. Yes. I'm also at a certain point. If I read a negative comment, I will respond to you. Yes, because we are all human beings. You can't come and tell me your mind when you've never met me. But I don't get offended. I don't get emotional about comments anymore. It's part of life, you know. They won't talk if you're not doing anything. At first, yes, they used to get to me, added to my insecurities. But now I'm like, I call them a bevy of women who look up to me. That's and I'm like, wow, I'm somebody's role model. You know, I got to keep going in all my imperfections. So I don't think negative comments get to me anymore.
So ladies, if I'm to ask you one word to describe the feeling, knowing that you're an overcomer, you made it. Well, for me, I'm making it. I'll get there one day. What would the word be?
I think I'm powerful. Understanding where I've come from, where I am now, I'll just say that the feeling makes me feel so powerful because I feel I've overcome all these things. So I'm powerful.
I think it's a beautiful feeling. You know, it's a fantastic
beautiful feeling. When near that, your eyes look beautiful. Like you are showing beautiful feeling.
Like
she's looking emotional. She's beautiful.
Yeah, Maame, it's
you're getting emotional.
Yeah,
that's what I'm asking.
That's what I'm saying. That it's a beautiful feeling. I'm telling you, like you have no idea, honestly. Like,
baby, don't make me cry. Don't do it. You say I spoil my makeup on
like that's what I'm saying. Like, no, I'm not gonna cry, but like. I feel like to be at a point where you don't love yourself, you feel like you are no one, to the point where that particular thing is what is making you money, and it's beautiful. Like, it's a fantastic feeling. That's why I was telling Nat that I cannot describe it in one word. You know, you have to forgive yourself. You need to accept yourself. You need, affirmation. And you need to surround yourself with positive people, and you need to enjoy the journey. Maame, I want people to know that self-love is a beautiful thing, that when you have that feeling, no one can take it away from you. You know that this thing, I don't want it, I'm walking away from it. This thing is good for me, I'm gonna go for it, and that's it. Yeah. It's okay.
Should I get my tissue for you as well?
No, my eyes are hot. Okay, so you have said everything. You have said everything. I feel that yes, it's a beautiful place to be. I feel very fulfilled. If you are looking for one word to explain, coming out of insecurity is a very fulfilling feeling.
For me, I would say that definitely work in progress, and this is me being as real and as realistic as much as I can. I'm still working on me. I'm still working on a lot of my insecurities. I mean, I'll still get my veneers, but that's still self-love.
No, unnecessary.
It's necessary,
but what are you doing?
Veneers.
On this, like, Maame, when I
take my words back.
I saw you. The only thing I saw about
Michi,
I just saw
you have an assignment.
We're supposed to go on a commercial
break. Thank you.
So guys, I hope you're enjoying the conversation. We're going for a short commercial break, and we'll be back to play some games. Stay tuned in.